Peace begins with me. Let my love flow out endlessly. I see you walking down a lonely road. I'll walk with you, share your heavy load. Then we can join our hands. Then we can form a band of peace, a band of love. Beautiful snow white dove. Let that dove fly, let her wing, let her soar, let her sing. High up above, olive branch filled with love. Then we can join our hands. Then we can form a band of peace, a band of love. Beautiful snow white dove. Not everyone will understand, not everyone will join our band. But if we give them time, they may learn to hear our rhyme. Then we can join their hands. Then they will join our band. A band of peace, a band of love. Beautiful snow white dove. Beautiful snow white dove. Beautiful snow white dove.
Good morning, and welcome to the virtual Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Elkhart. We are a welcoming community, encouraging religious freedom, nurturing individual spiritual and ethical growth, celebrating diversity, promoting a just and sustainable world. My name is Ryan Gill, and I'm a member of the board of this congregation. Welcome to you all, and thank you for tuning in today.
Good morning and welcome to UUFE, the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Elkhart. My name is Amy DeBeck. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and it is my privilege and a pleasure to serve as minister at UUFE. I'm really happy that you're here with us this morning, and I hope that you find this service to be inspiring and thoughtful for you. If you'd like to join us for the Zoom service that we do called Coffee Hour, where everybody can talk with each other, it's at 11:30, and I hope that you'll do that. This morning, we are holding in our hearts all of those who are ill or recovering. We lift up everyone associated, affected, worried with coronavirus, and also in our own community, we lift up Karen Kerr, Rowene Sibley, Noran Wynn, and whoever is in your heart. Saturday morning, October 24th at 9 a.m., come prepared to beautify our campus. Church Cleanup Day. Come one, come all, bring friends. As Arlo Guthrie said, bring your implements of destruction. Also, please do whatever you can from now until November 3rd to participate in the civic sacrament of voting. Take yourself to the polls and then help others get there too. I have signed up to be a clergy election defender, showing up at polling places to observe, de-escalate, listen, and chaplain. I will let you all know if I get approved and if I get to do anything once processed. On Wednesday, November 4th, between 1 and 4 p.m., write that down, Wednesday, November 4th, between 1 and 4 p.m., I will be outside at UUFE 1732 Garden Street, to chat with you and to collect canned goods. Why? Well, in this uncomfortable waiting time up to Election Day, life seems uncertain. Can we get through it? Yes, we can. So bring canned goods. If we get so many that our pantry can't handle them all, then we'll give them to CCS too. But I hope to see you all on November 4th, and I hope to see you all sometime soon. And I hope that all of you are staying safe and happy.
We ring the gong 3 times, once for those who came before us and made a place for us. Once for those who are here now. And once for those who will come after and build on the dream. Even in our physical separation and absence from one another, I light this single candle to burn for our entire fellowship. United in spirit, united in our covenant with one another, and united to thrive during this pandemic. We celebrate every life within our community, never forgetting those who have passed and are now a loving memory. But to the new lives that will continue to join our family bond in the coming years. May we all live with the faith, hope, and love that we so desperately need every day.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant.
title of this sermon that I've been playing with for at least a week, Is Church Relevant in the Pandemic? I've been thinking about this a lot because I miss you all. And I wonder, when we're not getting together for social justice things, how do we still do that? When we're still giving money in the plate, which isn't a plate anymore, it's a Square account. But it's made me wonder, how do we stay relevant? So here are my thoughts, and I hope that you'll share your thoughts with me. During this pandemic, we are really caught up in numbers. How high is the positivity rate? How many people have we lost? How many feet apart do we need to stay? How many people are allowed in a particular sized room? I believe that all of these numbers and statistics replacing humans, talking about us as numbers, is dehumanizing, and it causes stress. So come with me right now and I'll tell you how our church and why Unitarian Universalist faith is going to help us get through this pandemic. So let's count down 3, 2, 1. I like the number 3. Triangles, trios, even trinities. They make sense. A 3-legged stool is very sturdy. The group 3-legged chair is fantastic. A triangle's power comes from the interdependence of those angles, which all meet the correct amount of degrees to make it a triangle. When giving a talk, 3 points make a solid argument or an idea, and 3 points is about what the listener can remember. So of course later on, I'm going to give you 3 points. The only thing more beautiful than a singing duo is a trio. It makes perfect sense that the number 3 is implanted in the human brain. It's really solid. It's a stable number. Even in gardening, the 3 sisters make for sustainable agriculture and a balanced diet of corn, squash, and beans. It's not a huge surprise that the early Christians were drawn to this model of 3. But let's talk about 2. Some folks these days, including me, speak of how the binary way of doing things and thinking about things is actually quite limiting, and it damages people. You're either a boy or a girl. Something is good or bad. You can be gay or straight. There's good or evil. Was that man black or white? This whole idea of life as binary is ridiculous. It leaves no room for reality, which more often than not is somewhere in the middle, or it's not one of the choices at all, or it's some combination. Either or language, either or thinking, and practice is very limiting. So we're down to the number 1. Doing things alone can be very empowering and satisfying. Being independent is great. However, the idea of operating as a solo unit is not sustainable in any culture, including ours. Nobody is truly successful all by themselves all of the time. Everyone who claims to be self-made had some kind of help, even if it was simply being born into an advantageous position. Nobody is self-made. And why would we even want to have that as a goal? I've often thought, if I want something done right, I'll have to do it myself. But I sure do wish that wasn't the case. I like to have trust in others, respect for others. I like it when they can call on me. I have no desire to be alone, except occasionally, and then it feels pretty mandatory. The existence of this system of thinking about 1 or 2 or 3. The existence of God as a Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or rather the inability to prove through Scripture that that's how it all works, is why we're Unitarian and not Trinitarian. Number 3. As for the number 2, I lift up couples. Within our faith, which recognizes consensual relationships between adults as valid, I have been so pleased to unite people who love each other. Marriages between two people, whomever they are, is a choice. And I could only be in a religion that holds that as sacred. For me, it works with one man and one woman. Love you, Kevin. But the weddings between two men or two women or two non-binary people have been really beautiful. Love is love. As for the number 1, as I ponder that as a religious number, it makes me think of Islam. When somebody wishes to become Muslim, they don't need anybody to be with them. They only need to speak a prayer that submits their life to serving their God, Allah. 3, 2, 1. Whether you're talking about life or religious life. All of this number business is one way that we keep our minds occupied during this pandemic so that despair does not overtake us. All these numbers. Because the really important question, the ones which have plagued humans forever, don't include numbers or even any sense of time that we could understand. The questions are, where did we come from? Why are we here? What happens when we die? See what I mean about the inescapability of numbers? 3 questions. But really, let's look at these questions. The first one, where did we come from? We could look at ancient fertility symbols to see that we've always wondered, where did we come from? Ancient relics help us figure out that we, humans, have always thought something about where we came from. The flood stories, all of the creation stories. In many, there were goddesses who control fertility, of crops, of the animals we hunt, and of human life itself. Fertility was necessary for life. We've always known that. The human search for answers to the mystery of how life happens or where it comes from is some of the oldest human artifacts we have. Deemed religious, because back then there wasn't a separation between life and religious life. Sociologists and archaeologists focus on what the religious beliefs must have been when they get to an ancient dig site. Fertility, wondering where we come from, is found in every time and every culture. The current situation that we're experiencing over the beliefs held by Judge Amy Coney Barrett are part of this ancient human system. Because her beliefs include that all life comes from God and begins with conception, this religious belief put into secular judicial practice would be a real blow to future archaeologists. They'll have to reconcile, when they look at all of the statistics and all of the artifacts, that most of the people in the system believed one thing: compassionate science, medical health, while the religious will of a few decide on laws which govern everybody in that culture. It doesn't make sense in human history. Where did we come from is a human question that has no perfect, correct answer. We can talk about the Big Bang or the creation. We can even talk about in vitro fertilized pregnancy. We can also talk about where we are from and forget all about God or history and compassion when we say that if they came from another country, they're not welcome here. No matter how we look at the question, where did we come from, our church is a good place to explore that question. We understand the scientific proof that's in life, and we love the common sense of it all, but also compassion and life's experience informs our religion, so that if somebody wants to leave the door open for some mystery, a little bit of God's miraculous ways, a little bit of divine intervention, we can do that. But we don't try to use our religious beliefs to take away the religious freedom of other people. Even when a UU has the job of judge or lawyer or doctor, In this country, we have freedom of religion, and that means freedom for you, not freedom for you to restrict others. Here is an example of why binary thinking doesn't work. The question of a woman's right to choose. It's not as if abortion is either completely illegal or the government mandates when you have one. It's a choice. If somebody wants to carry a baby in a very dangerous pregnancy that science and medicine indicate will end badly, we don't clamor for laws which say it's got to be terminated. Nobody's trying to take away fetuses. So why is somebody making other people carry fetuses? We simply believe that people should have the freedom to choose their own path, including any children that might come on that path. At a UU church, even online, we will be people who carry bugs outside to honor all of life, and people who come from other countries, and people who work to make sure that there are fewer abortions through good health care. There will be people who believe that their life began when they came out. And some people who want to talk to you about ancient aliens. And some people who believe that they are a beloved child of God, and so are you. And the thing is, we're all together in a community. Where did we come from is a great topic for any small group meeting. So let's go on to the next question. Why are we here? It's often interpreted as, what is the meaning of life? Or an individual might ask, what is their purpose? Church is one of, if not the only, institution whose sole existence is to ponder these big three questions, as a species or as an individual. Our sole purpose, see what I did there? Get it? Soul, S-O-U-L, S-O-L, anyway. Our sole purpose is to ponder and then act accordingly. When we ponder what our purpose is, like a mission statement, for instance, then we're more able to carry out our institution's purpose. Academic life will help us with this, but its purpose is to earn a degree or a diploma. A civic association, I still think you should, go for it. Education's great. I'm trying to sell you on the fact that church is the only institution, church in any of its forms, synagogue, mosque, temple, is really the only institution where not only can we be intergenerational, but its sole purpose is to better our life for us and through and for the community. A civic association, which we should all join, might help a person have an epiphany about life's purpose, and a civic organization will have a mission statement, but their main target is the segment of the population they serve. It's really fun to be in a group like Lions or Rotary or what have you, but its purpose is to serve its specific target audience, and also maybe a little bit of building your professional resume. Houses of worship exist to give life purpose and to help individuals feel better about themselves and about life. Even if you have a job that is very fulfilling, that you love, its purpose is still to make the paycheck necessary to live. Religious institutions are treated differently than any others precisely because they are different. Someday we will review UU history. It'll probably be with Reverend Kevin. But until then, suffice to say, nobody has ever joined a church, besides maybe Scientology, for the purpose of getting something other than a better self-understanding or a better relationship with whatever higher power there is in the universe. In my case, it's love. Or to learn about how to be a better community member. Nobody wakes up on a Sunday morning and says, "Oh, life is so perfect. The only thing missing is going to church on Sunday morning or jumping into that Zoom meeting. Now I will find a church." We find a church because we're broken, or some part of us is broken. We're looking for healing. We're not sure what the purpose of capital L life is, or maybe we've lost our purpose. We join church because we don't know who we are, or we're not sure. Maybe volunteering with some nice people to feed some other nice people, or dress kids, or rake leaves, will help us learn or remember what we hold dear. You can do all of this pondering on your own, but looking for purpose within community helps us feel better, do better, and be better. In times of COVID, it is harder to do. I can't just round everybody up. Susie can't just say, "Hey, Social Justice Committee says, come here and do this." It's harder, but it's still important. For many of us, the pandemic has changed how we find purpose. And for others, this pandemic has illuminated what our purpose actually is. In any case, I mean, really, did any of you think that you'd be working at home and teaching your children online? So the pandemic has illuminated our purpose in some cases. Whatever the situation may be in your personal life, we have seen our national leadership fail to carry out any life-affirming purpose for us, and it's caused anxiety of biblical proportion. We are shook, friends, but we have UUFE to back us up with all of our online meetups and chances to meet up for tasks that better our community. Church can help us remember that we can still take time each week to think of something larger than ourselves. Some of our coronavirus sadness is not just because we miss being together, but because we miss being together working for a purpose. We can still do that. We will still do that. The last question in our big three is, what comes next? What happens when we die? Where do we go? It's truly a mystery. And at UUFE and within the UU faith, and certainly with this pastor, we practice compassion and patience and tolerance and acceptance regarding each person's beliefs regarding whatever comes next. I've done several dozen funerals at UUFE, and they've ranged from sharing the pulpit with a Christian evangelical to being carefully instructed, ordered really, to not mention God or heaven or afterlife, and everything in between. If you have this question on your heart, what happens when we die, church is a good place to explore it. We're not going to tell you that there is an answer. We're not going to tell you that you have to come up with one. We're good with the mystery. What we excel at is honoring a person's life. We don't know if there's life after death, but there is life after birth. So make it good and be happy. Church is relevant, even online. Even if you didn't come to us when we were open. Church is where we ponder life's questions alone but supported, or together in community, and then decide how that might direct our actions. Our actions. Church is relevant, and you matter. Plan to be with us online. Come to the next meetup, whatever it is. The world is out there waiting for us to make it better. Be aware of what the numbers are. wear the mask. Stay home if you're not feeling well, but don't let the numbers get you down, because inside of us, there is a person with questions to ask and love to share. It has been great being with you this week, and I hope that you're seeing some beautiful leaf colors. I hope that you're enjoying fall. I hope to see you on Wednesday, November 4th. Bring some canned goods and come talk to me and see who else might be hanging around. It'll be outside. But thank you for being with us today, and our benediction comes from Laura Lynn Bellamy. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Blessed be. Amen. Go in peace. Stay home. If you need to, wear masks.